E.N.D here. If you are following the spoilers of Dominaria United by now, you should be aware that Kicker will be a returning mechanic. Kicker is a keyword ability that allows the player to pay an additional optional cost when casting a spell to achieve an additional effect. It was first introduced during the Invasion block and brought back in Time Spiral, the original Zendikar blocks, Dominaria, Modern Horizons, Zendikar Rising, and now again in Dominaria United. But how do you play Kicker? Let's build our battlefield, let's put this to represent this tech, and let's put some lands in play. And I'm going to cast Archangel of Red 2 and 2 white with Kicker for 1 red and or 1 black, which means that I can pay only 1 black or only 1 red, or I can pay both 1 black and 1 red. Scenario 1. Casting Archangel of Red without Kicker. Whenever you cast a spell with Kicker, you decide if you are going to pay the optional cost or not. In my case, I have only 4 lands, therefore I'm not able to pay the Kicker cost. Archangel of Red is a normal spell, therefore it goes on the stack. There can be a response, there can be a counter, nothing happens, and Archangel of Red will hit the battlefield. Because I didn't pay the Kicker cost, its 2 abilities will not trigger. Scenario 2. Casting Archangel of Red with 1 Kicker. As said, whenever you cast a spell with Kicker, you decide if you're going to pay the optional cost or not. In my case, now I control 5 lands and I have an extra mountain. Therefore, I'm going to pay 1 of the Kicker cost of Archangel of Red. That is 1 red. Archangel of Red, it's a spell, goes on the stack, there can be a counter, there can be a response, nothing happens, and Archangel of Red hits the battlefield. Because I paid 1 red as Kicker cost for my Archangel, the first ability will trigger, and Archangel of Red will deal 2 damage to any target. And because it has lifelink, I will get back those 2 life. Scenario 3. Casting Archangel of Red with the 2 Kicker costs. Archangel of Red is a particular spell that have a Kicker cost of 1 black and or 1 red, meaning that I can pay 1 black or 1 red or both. Not to be confused with multi-Kicker, that's a different mechanic. So I'm going to cast again Archangel of Red, but this time I'm going to pay 1 red and 1 black. It's a normal spell, goes on the stack, there can be a counter, there can be a response, nothing happens, and it will hit the battlefield. Now, because I paid 1 red and 1 black, the 2 abilities of Archangel of Red will trigger, and it will deal 2 damage to any target, 2 damage to any target, and I will get 4 life back thanks to the lifelink. Some notes: you kick a spell as you cast it. You declare whether you're going to pay a Kicker cost at the same time you choose a spell mode, and then you actually pay it at the same time you pay the spell mana cost. Kicking a spell is always optional, therefore you can't cast a spell, put it on the stack. If it's not countered, then pay the Kicker cost. That is not allowed. You can pay any particular Kicker cost only once. In my case, I paid only once 1 red and only once both. You can't pay 2 red to get twice the Kicker ability, unless, as said, it had multi-Kicker, but that's a different mechanic. Some instant and sorcery spells have an additional effect if they were kicked. Other instant and sorcery spells have a different effect if they were kicked. Always read these cards carefully. If they include the word instead, the second effect replaces the first. If they don't include the word instead, both the first and second effect occur. Some permanents with Kicker enter the battlefield with counters on them if they were kicked. Other permanents with Kicker have entered the battlefield triggered abilities that check whether they were kicked, like Archangel of Red. These look at whether they were kicked when cast a spell. If not, the ability doesn't trigger at all. If such permanent is put on the battlefield as a result of a spell or ability, there is no opportunity to kick them. Kicker cost doesn't change a spell's mana cost or converted mana cost. If a kick spell is copied, the copy is always kicked. So that's how you play Kicker, especially with this new card from Dominaria United, Archangel of Red. Leave me a comment below. What do you think about Kicker? And here, the subscription button, subscribe for my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.